I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. Close reading by ELA on the Move. First up, we want to take a look at the theme. Nature and man harmoniously moving along together. Nature can offer and even give us essential happiness, associated with memories. As you read the poem, you'll find that his happiness and love with nature comes with the memories that he's made and looking back on them. Later, I'll talk about another poem that pairs well with this one, with the same theme and to do with nature. The poem has a great amount of figurative language, and the majority of the close reading will be focused on the effect that the figurative language has on the poem and creating the poem and the flow in the poem. So the different types of figurative language that you will see inside of it include alliteration, similes, hyperbole, assonance, personification, tons of imagery. Tone is represented well in here. You can kind of see the flow of it. We'll go over that, as well as a great amount of vocabulary that you'll want to point out and notice that Wordsworth uses to his advantage to help the poem along. There's also some comparing and contrasting that you'll see throughout the poem, and we'll take a look at that as well. Right. First up, let's look at the figurative language throughout the poem and the imagery and beautiful scene that it shows, especially with the daffodils. First up kind of starts with the personification and the imagery that it shows. If you notice throughout the poem, everything from I saw a crowd in line 3, the dancing in the breeze, and the showing of the flowers actually dancing in comparison to a person, all the way down to line 12, where they're tossing their heads in sprightly dance. A line before that says 10,000 at a glance, giving that imagery of all those flowers across the field as you're walking on that summer's day in the peacefulness. Well, it brings life to the daffodils. Take a look at line 1 with the simile. The speaker's comparing the way he walks to floating like a cloud. Lonely doesn't signify that he's necessarily lonely, but yet he is alone, enjoying the leisurely day, the aimless wandering like a cloud does. Also, the simile in line 7, where you see it's continuous as the stars. Take a look at the hyperbole on line 9, where they stretched in never-ending line. In the 10,000 I saw at a glance. Bit of an exaggeration, but a very good way for us to bring the image to mind. The alliteration on line 3, when all at once I saw a crowd, using those W's, especially with the word once added to that, which is kind of nice. And then also check out line 22, where you see assonance used well. A really good example with those eyes, which is the bliss of solitude. Great use of the sound device there. In fact, the whole poem, the use of sound devices is just amazingly represented to add to the tone of the poem. And we'll come to that in a minute. You feel the gentleness, the peacefulness as you read the poem going along, even from the first line when you're wandering, you get the sense of feeling the peacefulness of being by yourself, the gentleness of walking through the flowers and the wind blowing and making them dance. It's almost musical as well. It's like a peaceful melody you hear. You're walking along on that sunny day, and you're humming and feeling it. Wordsworth, among many other poets, likes for you to feel what he feels, what the poet feels when he's writing the poem. You feel the same. So this is the kind of poem that you bring up to mind on a summer's day when you're walking by yourself, enjoying nature. Back to the theme of nature and man going together harmoniously. It's essential to your happiness because, in a sense, it brings up memories of things from your life that you don't want to let go, that you want to enjoy. So take that peaceful walk and think back on a poem like this or a memory that you have. And that's kind of what Wordsworth is looking for, he's going with. As well, vocabulary. Take a peek at some of the words that really stand out, that kind of send the poem in the direction he wanted it to go. Words that are happy words, cheerful words, that make you feel blissful and happy no matter what. He spread them all throughout the poem, making the reader continuously feel that happiness that he feels. Even ends it with the last line. And we'll come to that last line and talk about that. But he continues it all through the poem, and he even makes sure in his summarizing in the last line that you feel that pleasure, that you feel that bliss, that you're happy and you know it. Now pay attention to one of the things that you'll see a lot of poets do, little details that you might not have caught or stood out, even compare and contrasting a bit. You'll see that the stars and the waves, go look at line 7, continuous as the stars, and the waves beside them danced. They don't get as much precedence as the daffodils. You'll notice the daffodils are continuously discussed. They're continuously compared. They're continuously dancing and happy and creating happiness. The waves and the stars contribute, but they're not the continued focus. They speak to the setting, but they don't speak to the love of the daffodils. So little details like that a poet puts in on purpose. So catch those little things. Poets want you to feel. They want you to see what they're feeling, so their reason for writing the poem. And like I said, coming back to nature and man and the theme and the memories, and that they offer happiness in remembering those memories and never letting them go. In the line 19 where it says, "When on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood." Okay, whatever is going on in life at that time, you look back on those memories. You want them back. We all want them back. We all want to enjoy those happy memories from life and what they do for us. So, with that said, what does this poem pair with? It's easy to think of any other poet or nature poem. Frost is a good one, who tends to meld everything with nature when he's writing. Whatever theme he picks, it always connects back to nature. So another poem that pairs well with this is Robert Frost, Nothing Gold Can Stay. We all want to cherish our memories, and both poets end up comparing happy memories to nature's beauty and what nature can offer. Many poems you'll see will compare it to the harmful things in nature, but note that this poem, as well as Frost, compare them to the happiness in nature, the beauty in nature, the things it has to offer, and essential to our happiness. It essentially also pairs well with O. Henry's The Last Leaf, a great short story that lends itself to nature and to the goodwill of men and happiness for others, period. And last up, we want to remember that poetry using stanzas and rhyme schemes help create that melody, that theme, that feeling in nature with the swaying of the daffodils. With what rhyme scheme Wordsworth used inside the poem. An A, B, A, B, C, C with each stanza lends itself to that flowing melody. Try singing it to yourself. It sounds silly, but it works. It helps you remember it better too. If you like this video, if you found this helpful, hit like, hit subscribe to help students and teachers out, as well as teachers helping teachers out. Thank you for watching. ELA on the Move wants to help with anything you might need.